Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and as requested a suspicious amount of times, I'm going to make a video on Frontier. Oh, and keep in mind everybody who requested it, you asked for it. So MTG Frontier is a new format being pushed very aggressively by, I'm gonna guess, a small group of people that are pretending to be a large group of people. I thought I heard something about it being big in Japan, that's probably a load of crap too. So what is Frontier? It is a non-rotating format, so it does not go along with time. It simply adds more cards as time goes on. It has a starting point, it is static, and that's it. Now, Legacy and Vintage are any card ever, basically. A lot of restricted cards, but you get it. And Commander is pretty much the same. They can go all the way back to Alpha if they want. And then, of course, there's Modern, which is starting with 8th edition, and anything older than 8th edition is not legal unless it was reprinted later, or time-shifted, the one exception. So with Modern getting bigger and bigger and bigger, in that there's more and more and more cards to choose from, the decks theoretically are getting more and more and more powerful, but not really, because every time, a Treasure Cruise comes out, they ban it. Every time new Eldrazi come out and it's too powerful, they ban it. So technically, the top decks are not becoming any more powerful because honestly, if it wins on turn 3 too often, they're just going to ban it. So all that's truly happening to Modern in the real world is that it's getting more diverse and more dynamic, and some kind of second-rate decks are getting a little bit better. Nothing wrong with that, of course. I'm all about that. But I guess some people were like, I'm sick of these old cards. I'm sick of the same old stupid OP as balls cards being in every single damn Modern deck. Like anything Phyrexian, Path to Exile, the big staples that everybody hates, even Blood Moon. I mean, there's some really, really, really hated cards in Modern that Wizards refuses to do anything about. But that's their management strategy for the game. They don't ban it based on annoying, they ban it based on broken and OP. And, that's a management choice, whatever. I don't agree with it, but whatever. So now somebody said, why don't we do a static length format, or not static length, a static starting point format, where it's less cards and less time. Now you guys, if you saw my other video, I said there needs to be a rotating format because one, they're more friendly to people buying products from Wizards and keeping the game going, and two, then you solve the problem. You don't have to put up with OP stupid cards that everybody plays because after a while they will actually cycle out. So some guy allegedly named Cody Mines from Kansas came up with a new format called Frontier. So what usually happens is, you go out hunting, your wagon axle breaks, your cousin dies of dysentery. I'm actually reading the Oregon Trail guide. Hold on, let me go to the Frontier webpage. Here we go, mtgfrontier.com, which has a private name registration. Not that suspicious, so do most of my websites, whatever. Wow, that's a non-custom resolution, blurry, non-vector, upscaled image if I ever saw one. Red underlined italics in like size 36? Woo! Welcome to 1999. If you think I'm being a dick, I also have a degree in web design. Oh look, a poorly cropped image that potentially violates copyright. Okay, I'll actually talk about actual Frontier instead of this god-awful template website. But oh my god, that font choice! Oh, it just burns! This website though, you guys don't even know. I used to be a professional editor and I don't want to read more of this website. Let me just give you the gist of it so you don't have to personally sift through this hell. M15 onward. M15 is the cutoff. Automatic fail. Complete garbage format. Right there. Don't even need to read further. They included Fetchlands. Now, first of all, they included half the Fetchlands. Little bit of a problem there. Secondly, they included Fetchlands. The number one thing driving up the cost of Modern, that the biggest barrier to all of Modern is the Fetchlands. They are too damn expensive. If you're playing two-color, you're either going to use Fetchlands because they're the best in 95% of decks, or you're going to have a disadvantage. They're too expensive, they're too sought after, and now they made them absolute prime time in this new format. Oh, but Desolator, maybe they'll get smart and ban them. Might I quote, there is no ban list. Now, even though this website was written by a barely literate ape, I got the impression that he didn't mean there's no ban list right now. He meant there is no ban list. Period. In fact, there's a period after it in the sentence. Now, what I don't get is, he said, it's the new card frame. When the hell did the card frame change in M15? It must have been really subtle, because nothing's crossing my mind. So you know what really sucks? What really sucks? One of the best mechanics made lately was Devotion. It was so fun, It was mono, so you could build cheap decks. It was moderately fair. It had the highest ability to work with other cards that were printed, and they left it out. What the hell does Frontier have against Devotion? Okay, if I can't build a Devotion deck, what the hell's the point? Only reason I'm not building a Devotion deck in Modern is because it can't compete with just garbage that wins on turn 4 that's still legal for some reason. Now, we'll give the writer of this website some props. He said, you won't have to compete with broken decks like Affinity. Oh, hell yes. Death Shadow Aggro, never heard of it. Oh, wait, no, I have heard of that one. Infect, oh my god, get Infect the hell out of here. Goryo's Vengeance, never heard of it. Abzan Company, that deck can go burn in hell. Thing Ascension, not sure what that is. Ad Nauseam, oh my god, ban that card. Seriously, ban the card. Wizards, ban it right now. Do it. I don't care if you got a roast in the oven and some noodles on the stove. Turn that off, go drive back to work, and immediately ban Ad Nauseam. I see a little bit of a flaw in the logic of their statement, though. Instead, you'll have to go up against the broken decks from the Tarkir block. Super Jeskai, Super Esper Control Dragons. I mean, it's just those stupid decks over again with better cards. Oh boy, I can't wait to see Ugin again. He was my favorite. Damn, I hope I remember to send Ugin a Christmas card this year. I'll just have to address it to hell. I have no interest in seeing anything from the Tarkir block ever again. That block was a disaster. So you got the Fetchlands locking you into just certain color combinations. You've got the OP is Balls Tarkir block, and it's only just, it's like what, 7 blocks, 8 blocks, something like that? It's just the same crap you saw in Standard, but a little bit better and a little bit more annoying. Who the hell enjoyed Standard for the last 2 years? Theros was the last time Standard was actually fun to play. This website claims you can play a competitive format without, quote, having to spend a small fortune. Yes, it's called Sealed, Pseudo-Sealed, and, I guess, Draft. Oh my god, is that a load of horse crap? Tarkir was the most expensive Standard block ever. Now, the positives of this format are very clear. You can take cards that you probably own if you've been playing for even a short time, that have cycled out, and use them again. You can even take whole entire old decks and use them again. Except for all your 5 freaking Devotion decks that you build. If this became a big thing, you could have things cycle out of Standard and not quite crash so hard price-wise. Now, ever since, I believe, Return to Ravnica, cards have just been going down the toilet after release because they've been printing, triple to quadruple the amount that they would have slightly before that. So, if this is like a bulk printing era format, and that was the intent, okay, I kind of get it, but that's not stated anywhere that I read. Here's the problem, though. The last invented format, okay, honestly, it was probably Canadian Highlander, which, nothing wrong with that, but the one before that would be Tiny Leaders. Now, this was a little before my time, or if it wasn't, I just didn't give a crap, one of the two. Tiny Leaders, if I'm even remembering it correctly, was a 50-card commander, basically. So 49 in 1. I think none of your cards could have a cast cost above 3, something like that. So it used some stuff that was previously unpopular, little 50-cent rares and just, jank cards that were like okay, but they weren't great. Well, guess what? The inventors pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Then they tried to copyright the name, I believe. I heard something about that. And then they tried to hoard a bunch of the cards that they knew would be popular, like a whole bunch of 3-cost rares that were outrageously popular in the format, or would be in the near future. And they tried to hoard them along with some other people, allegedly, and then resell them for a 10x profit. So the whole thing was seen as a scam to make money, just a total money grab, just tricking people into playing a format where they'd buy cards that were worthless otherwise, and then it died. I mean, nobody plays Tiny Leaders anymore. It blew up because the limitation was pretty fun. Everybody loves Commander. It was like a newer, slightly tweaked version, a little bit streamlined, for Commander. Didn't have to come up with 100 cards. Hell, you didn't even have to come up with 100 sleeves. I could see why it was intrinsically popular, but because the creators were such dicks, it failed miserably. It was obviously borderline a scam to rip you off for worthless-ish cards. Allegedly. In some people's opinions. So, is Frontier a scam to sell a bunch of so-so cards like, Jeskai Ascendancy? Used to be kind of expensive, kind of popular. Cards really, really, really good. I don't think I recall it ever clearing $3 or $4, unfortunately. It was really powerful and people used it, but for some reason it never really went up. Oh, and all of a sudden everybody's playing it in Frontier, potentially. Oh, look, it's worth a whole bunch. Maybe the owners own 1,000 copies. Maybe the whole thing's just a scam to run up the price of the latest Fetchlands. I don't know. So I would have had more interest in this format because it's almost exactly when I've been playing. I mean, I started playing between M13 and M14. So I own a ton of these cards, obviously, but I don't know. I just, after what happened with Tiny Leaders, I can't support this. I just can't. It is self-admitted to be pushed by only a tiny group of people. And in my talks with some other people, in my own experience, people have been, like, unnaturally requesting I make a video about it. Like, more people that I've never heard from before in my life have tweeted it at me or sent me a YouTube message or left a comment on a completely unrelated video just out of nowhere. It's like, hey, what's your favorite breakfast food? Hey, have you ever played Frontier? You know, something about equivalent to that. Everybody's been just copying and pasting, are you going to make a video about Frontier? Like, it's suspiciously aggressive, like I said at the beginning of this video. Maybe there's that many people excited about Frontier and they want everybody to cover it so that they'll have people to play with. Maybe it'll get released on MTGO, maybe it'll get released on Xmage, which I think it already did if I'm not mistaken. I mean, come on, it took like 5 seconds. It's a glorified database filter. It's not that hard to add Frontier to anything. You know, maybe people really just do really want to use their old rares that used to be valuable that are still in their trade binder. But I deeply suspect that this is a giant scam. And I don't mean like a scam like they're gonna lie and steal your money. I mean just dishonest. It's incredibly dishonest. Potentially. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. Yes, 100% scam. Don't touch it. Oh my God, it's gonna blow up in your face. It just has extremely high potential to do so. It is possible that either the creators or creator of Frontier is holding on to a ton of potential Frontier cards, like Siege Rhino, for example, seeing as how, it's kind of at the top of their website. Or some other people who saw an opportunity are abusing it by buying up a whole bunch of potential cards, hoping to make, 2-to-1, 3-to-1 profits. That's hard to do consistently in Magic otherwise. You'd have to be practically, borderline psychic or something. But Frontier, I can tell you right now what cards are going to go up. Sphinx's Tutelage, Collected Companies, Siege Rhino, anything with the word Jeskai in it. Ugin. I mean, come on, it's just all the crap that we've been playing with. I think even Thoughtseize might be on that list. So even if it's unintended, even if nobody at the top, nobody promoting the game just because they think it's fun, nobody's doing anything shady, somebody could jump in and do something shady, like, Star City Games. It's not like they've never hoarded cards with, private information, I guess you could say. They have actively tried to buy up a whole bunch of cards in the past so that they could up the price and sell them themselves. So they could just decide, hey, Frontier, cool, boom, buy up thousands of copies of certain cards, and then just hold a semi-monopoly on them. Oh, and that's all allegations and unproven in my opinion, and blah, blah, legalese, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, try and sue me, Star City Games, I dare ya. So what can you do to avoid getting scammed and ripped off on overpriced cards in the new MTG Frontier format by unscrupulous and shady people like Star City Games? Nothing! Except for don't play the format. Simple as that. I would have thought that a new starting point for Modern would have been a great thing, except they included one of the most hated blocks of all time by anybody who doesn't have thousands of dollars. They excluded one of the most loved blocks in recent history, and it just smells like a scam. People are trying way the hell too hard to mention it everywhere they can to make it be a thing, and nobody really knows why. Could be perfectly good motivation, could be totally shady motivation. I will not touch it. Totally not touching Frontier with a 20-foot pole. I would suggest you do the same, or if you literally have the cards, like you have the old decks, go for it. I mean, me and my friends make up formats all the time. Got one called 8-Ball. You just have 8 cards in your hand, 8 starting cards. That's it. You just take whatever deck you want, standard, modern, whatever you want to play, and draw to 8. 8 is the new hand size. There, we just made our own format. So if you and your friends decide to play Frontier, great. But do I think it should be at the next Pro Tour? Oh, hell no. I think even Wizards themselves has their BS-ometer on about 9 right about now when it comes to Frontier, if they're not the ones behind it. Considering it's kind of secondary market heavy, I seriously doubt that. So overall, like I said, totally sketchy format. If you want to play it, go for it, but I wouldn't get way into it. I certainly wouldn't invest in it, and I wouldn't try to actively promote it to anybody else. If you want to play it with your friends, it's a free country, go for it. Not going to harm anybody, but just be on the alert and watch out because, well, it could be Tiny Leaders 2.0. If anybody else has any lovely conspiracy theories or any additional information proving that this might be a little bit shady, leave it down in the comments section. If you're going to say that I'm complaining too much and I'm too negative and I'm too pessimistic and I'm sure there's nothing wrong with Frontier, don't leave that down in the comments section because you're clearly an idiot. So I hope you all have a lovely holidays and have fun not playing Frontier, and I'll see you next video.